Synastry 101. Let's get into it. I love Synastry. As I said in my nicolandria video, it really rules everything. The reason why you connect with people, why things work out with people, why things don't work out with people. You can see it all with your Synastry. I'm talking about 101. This is like anyone who's just first opening their eyes to astrology. First, you want to know that I'm doing everything from the sidereal zodiac. The reason why I like the sidereal zodiac, I have another video about that, so you can check that out. So let's say beginner sidereal astrology. That's the only form of astrology that I use. I used to be able to do both, and I still follow tropical astrologers. I still respect the system. So yeah, let's get into it. I have been studying Synastry and astrology for nearly 10 years. So I love this subject. It's very fascinating. I'm always looking at, when I meet people, I'm like, when's your birthday? And I kind of look, I don't like to talk about astrology in real life with people deeply because it's too vast. But I can do sun sign talk, moon talk, But it's cool to see the Synastry you have with someone, because you can be like, oh my God, why am I so drawn to this person? And then you pull up your chart, you pull up their chart, you're like, oh, that's why, because we have Moon Mars, we have Mercury trine Mercury, we have this. And you're like, what are those? What are those? Those are aspects. When planets are communicating with each other, you can say, I have a sun moon aspect, right? Sun moon could be sun moon conjunction, which is the number one. It could be sun moon trine. It could be sun moon square. It could be sun moon sextile. Sextile is more of a Western aspect, but I see it a lot in Synastry working out because sextiles create opportunities. So getting into the basics, 101, this video hopefully will help you. I'm going to be doing Ace and Shelly Synastry from Love Island season 7. Just kind of as an example, so I can kind of tell you guys what their energy is for each other. And what's their strengths, what's their weaknesses, how it's going to work, if it's not going to work, and then just basically go down this list of the top things to look for in Synastry. Okay, Synastry is a relationship. It's it's two forces coming together and coming into one, and it's going to look like a chart like this. I always use astro.com to look at Synastry. Boom, it's going to show you the overlay. This is called Synastry overlay. It's like how the planets are overlaying on top of each other. The top things you want to look at is the relationship between the moon signs. The moon is your emotional landscape, your nature, how you nurture your emotions. The emotions are the most important part in relationships, being able to be emotional and vulnerable with someone. You don't want to be in a relationship where you're stoic all the time and faking it all the time, right? So the relationships between the moons, are they in good aspect? These are the good aspects. These are harmonious aspects. A conjunction, there's familiarity there. You see me, I see you. We have a similar processing center here. When you see something conjunct, especially moons conjunct, that's a similar software there. Any planets conjunct, it's like there's a familiarity there. This is a glue. This is a grounding force with Synastry. Then you want to see the relationship between the moon lords, not just the moon. So the moons can be trine, but the lords of those moons can be square. What's a lord? A lord is the planet that rules the sign. Okay, so you could have moon in Scorpio. Scorpio is ruled by Mars. You're going to look for Mars, okay? And then you're going to look for their Mars. What are they doing? How are they in these two charts? How are they communicating with each other? Are they trining? Are they squaring? Are they opposing? Are they sextiling? Are they inconjunct? Inconjunct is another tricky aspect. That's the 6-8 relationship in Vedic astrology. You're not being able to see eye to eye. You're missing each other. There is no comfortability. You avoid. Inconjunctions make people avoid stuff. It's like I'm swimming. Literally, that's what it looks like. It's like a swimming, I'm missing you. So we're not seeing eye to eye. And then you want to see, so the moon's very important, right? That moon is love and lust and desire. Moon, how you feel about something is how you're going to go towards it. It's the most important planet in Vedic astrology because it represents the mind. And I think it's also one of the most important planets in relationships, okay? How are they going to be able to feed you? Okay, so then the relationship between the Mercuries. Mercury is also very important in relationships. How are we going to understand each other? communication is key, right? They always say communication is everything. Even with your body language, even if the way you carry yourself, how are you communicating and expressing your thoughts? Are we able to have this mental tennis where we can go back and forth and kind of like meet each other in that way? Mercury is very responsible for how you're translating those emotions that you have. Like, so you want to look at the relationships between the Mercuries. If the Mercuries are trining, oh my God, we can talk about anything. It's easy flowing communication. You get me, I get you. Something to understand. Mercury's opposition, there's a little bit of a familiarity. It's like a mirror, but it's like you're both operating from a different place, opposite altogether, but opposites always attract. Refer to my nicolandria video. But if you have a square, now that's going to create tension and challenges and misunderstandings, because square aspects are ruled by Mars. There's going to be a little bit of heat, a little bit of argument. But the thing I love about squares is that it creates like intimacy through the conflict. If you can work through the challenges and work to understand each other a little bit, then you're always going to be bringing different perspectives. Always going to be bringing different types of perspectives that will make you be like, I learned something new, or this is different. And then you want to look for the creative and sexual planets, the planets that are getting result. You want to look at the relationship between Mars and Venus. All the relationships between the planets are important, but these are the top. We're doing 101 today. These are the top. What are the Marses and Venuses doing? Venus is how your values, your style, what you appreciate, what you like, what you're attracted to, and what people find attractive in you as well, your Venus. Because that's because you're attracted to it, you kind of also embody it in a certain way. And Mars is how you go towards something, how you penetrate something, how you conquer, go on a mission. Mars is your drive. And it's also very sexual. Venus and Mars are very sexual planets. Obviously, we're Earth, right? We're in the middle. We have Venus on one side, Mars on the other side. That's sexual. Look at these planets on the outside of Earth, like creating their energy outside is like Earth, like it's sexual. You see? You guys get it? Am I making sense? That's how I see it. When they come together or they're harmonious, it can create great sexual compatibility. And sex, I don't care what anyone says, is very important in relationships. Like the compatibility there, it is. You can call it low vibration or whatever. No, you need to have that compatibility as well. So those in a good, Mars and Venus in good aspect is very healthy. Venus in good aspect with your moon, very healthy. So you want to see. So square aspects create that tension challenge, great for growth. Mars square a planet is good because Mars likes that. Mars is going to dominate there. Moon and Venus do well with trines and conjunctions. Moon and Venus, they're watery planets in Vedic astrology. They're Jala Tattva, that's what they call it. They are more about the emotional landscape. So they do well with a trine or a conjunction, like, ooh, I see you, ooh la la. Like, I can appreciate the way that you carry yourself and your value systems. My emotions feel safe here. I feel safe to open up, and I cling to you a little bit more. So these are the things you need to look for in these relationships. Let's quickly look at Ace and Shelly. Ace and Shelly have this natural attraction because they have a lot of conjunctions. Okay, they have Venus in the same sign. Venus in the same sign is always going to create a natural affinity for each other because it's like, look, we have the same value system. We have the same aesthetics. We have the same way I look and carry myself matches the way you look and carry yourself. Okay, they both have Venus in sidereal Virgo, very picky. Venus is debilitated here. You can be very picky and you can be kind of like, you're like nitpicking things a little bit. Being conjunct together, it's like, okay, you get me, I get you, great. They also have their Mercuries conjunct. You know what I said about the Mercuries? Mercury's in the same sign in sidereal Leo. It's going to create easy flowing communication, like the way they communicate, the way they express, like they're both the way they speak throughout the season. They speak with a little bit of authority and regality. Both of them, both Shelly and Ace, they both speak and communicate like they're confident in what they're saying. They're not like timid or whatever. No, Shelly is willing to speak out when she wants to speak out. Ace is willing to speak out when he's wanting to speak out. And sidereal Leo is all about leadership. So they're expressive in the way they speak, but then it can also, being in the sign like Leo, can also cause disagreements because you're thinking your mental landscape is always focused on you and how things are looking for you. It's hard for you to see everything else because the sun is very burning. The sun is blinding. The sun is like, whoa, I can't see anything else right now. I'm only seeing things from a selfish point of view. It can come off that way. Shelly's a Leo sun and he's a sidereal Cancer sun. Like that's sun and moon being like, his sun is ruled by the moon, and her sun is ruled by the sun. Like, it's regal. The sun and moon energies are very regal. There's a sense of like, they look good together. They really do. They match each other's energy. Another thing is his north node, or Rahu, the north node, is conjunct her moon. So he's more obsessed with her. He's more into her because Rahu can be a sense of inspiration and stimulation and make you kind of like obsessive about something. I don't like nodal synastry that much, like when planets are conjunct someone's nodes, because it can go up and then it can go down. Like, because it's a shadow planet. It's not, the basis of it is based off like a faulty, like a shadow part of your mind. It's not faulty. It can work. It's just that you might not be seeing the real thing. You know, your energy is trying to go towards something that's not really, that doesn't have a lot of form, you know? And then it can be overstimulating for the other person whose planet's there. Like, her moon might be feeling overstimulated with all that kind of desire, that lust. And moon is such a gentle planet. So you always have to look at what type of planet you're dealing with. Like, Mars, Rahu might be able to get down. Rahu's sun might be able to get down because those planets are more fiery, but moon is a little bit more gentle. So it's like, maybe it's a little bit like, hold on, calm down. So planets like the other planets, the outer planets like Saturn and Jupiter, those are generational planets. Saturn takes 2.5 years to transit a sign. Jupiter takes 1 year approximately. Those planets bring that karmic energy into the mix. Okay. So if you have Saturn conjunct or aspecting a lot in synastry, that's gonna bring like a glue, because Saturn means long term, and it also means lessons and karma, and then sometimes it feels starved. Like, Saturn moon isn't really the best because moon is gentle, moon wants to feel, and Saturn is hard. Saturn on sun too. Saturn with Venus though, that can be long term because Venus and Saturn are friends. See, now I'm getting into the 102 course. Let me calm down. But I'm just giving you a hint. Like, those Jupiter and Saturn are giving you a little bit, like if they're touching other planets closely, especially to the nakshatra, it's a little bit more like, you can be like, okay, this is a little bit serious, it's a little bit more heavy. Jupiter is going to expand, make things feel like there's a lot of possibilities. So her Jupiter is opposing his Jupiter, like they have Jupiter opposition. So and then her Jupiter is opposing his moon and his Mars and his sun. There's like all these possibilities that come through, especially from a financial or business mindset, because she has Jupiter in Capricorn and he has Jupiter exalted in Cancer. He's about to have a Jupiter return. Another aspect that they have is Mars square Mars. So that's good. Like I said, Mars likes squares. Mars likes that. Mars square Mars is going to bring sexual attraction, because it's like the way you're going about things is challenging the way that I do, but in a way, because they're the same modality, they're, either cardinal, fixed, mutable, right? The same modality. It's like, whoa, like we can get something started here. We can do something with this because we're the same modality, but we have this square. So it's going to create tension. It's going to create separation. It's going to create arguments because I want to do things like this and you want to do things like that. But ultimately, the lords of those Mars is, his Mars is lorded by the moon in Cancer. Her Mars is lorded by the Venus. It's just sidereal Mars in Libra, the Venus in Virgo. So there's that sextile. A sextile is when it occurs within the same planetary gender. I know people don't like that. So like a feminine sign, which is water or earth signs in communication, or masculine sign, which is air and fire signs in communication. So like a Gemini placement and a Leo placement, that's a sextile. So Virgo and Cancer sextile, and that creates opportunity for understanding. So even though their Mars is square, the lords of their Mars is sextile. So there's a little bit of understanding there. Okay, you always want to look for where you can see the square. Oh, this is the challenge, but here's the understanding. You can see this. You can see the opposition, but you can see the conjunction. You can see but oppositions. I love oppositions. Like I said, please watch the nicolandria video. I talk about the oppositions there. The oppositions make things like meet in the middle ground, and then you're just being power coupled together. That's why I love sun opposite sun couples. I said it before, because sun opposite sun couples are very powerful because they're like, their ego and their light and their soul, the sun represents soul, is like they're coming together to bring their own force. It's like a magnet, and then they're like creating friction together, which is creating power overall. Anyway, so their synastry looks good. The only thing I would worry about is that Rahu moon. It could get irritating for Shelly, because Shelly, she either has Rohini moon or Mrigashirsha moon, And these nakshatras like pleasure and passion, and they like to be free. They like to be able to go wherever their heart lets them. Like they like a little bit of freedom, So we'll see. And I saw that with her in the villa. She does like that freedom too, just as much as Ace does. But, they were playing the long game, trying to explore, blah, 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 blah. But their synastry is good because they have a lot of conjunctions and they can see eye to eye. But their moons have that sextile. So they actually really do understand each other on a friendly level. And they have opportunity to grow. Like it's giving regal. Like they are a regal couple and they're actually not going to be doing anything for clout because they have sun in Cancer, sun in Leo. They only care about themselves. Really, honestly. They're not going to be doing this cash grab stuff. They're not interested. They're just not. They're more interested in being authentic and real. Especially since, Ace has a sidereal Cancer stellium. He's emotional. And she is too. And they like that about each other. So they can be emotional together. So yeah, I hope this video is like a good intro video. I do not want this video to be too long for you to kind of just explore synastry that you have with your best friend, your favorite artist, your partner, whatever. Because you can see the challenges. If something is square, that means it's in the same modality. There's challenges there. There's squaring. I always look at a sidereal chart. It's just better for me. It's easier for me. You can look at a tropical chart if you want. But square, challenge, trine, harmony. Trines happen when they're in the same element. Okay? Water signs trine, earth signs trine, air signs trine, fire signs trine. Okay? There's an understanding. They're able to access each other's knowledge because it's from the same element. Opposition, simple. The planet in the opposite sign. They're going to be in the same energy signature though, feminine or masculine. You can't have a feminine sign opposing a masculine sign. You're going to have a feminine sign opposing a feminine sign. It's going to be earth or water or fire or air. Okay? So, and then the inconjunction. Ooh, this is important. I'm going to add this little blurb and then I'm going to wrap it up. 6-8 relationship. So if you have a planet here, let's say in Aries, let's make it easy. You have a planet in Aries and someone has a planet in Scorpio, there's going to be a little bit of like miscommunication there. You're missing each other. You're not getting each other. You're not able to synthesize. This is very difficult. But it brings about transformation though. But 6-8 relationships, you're missing each other. You're like this. So 6 is here and then 8, whatever. But 6, there's going to be an issue. There's going to be an argument. 8, there's going to be transformation and elimination. That's what you have to remember. Like something's gotta give with those planets. If it's with your Venuses, oh Lord, things might not even just take off because if your Venuses are 6-8 from each other, it might be hard to like really take off because your values, your femininity, what you want is not in cohesion. Like you're not able to balance off. Same thing with the Mercuries. Mercuries, you really don't want that. Moons, you really don't want that. Like all the things that I listed before, you don't want them 6-8 from each other. You just don't. You don't. So we can talk about that more. Let me know what other videos you guys want to see about synastry. I love synastry. I could talk about it for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. I thought this video was going to be 5 minutes, but look at it. It's like 20 something. So yeah, thanks for watching. And I wish nothing but the best for Shelly and Ace if they stay together or not. And same with everybody else on Love Island and same for everybody on the planet because you can't control how people feel and you can't control what people do. You can only control yourself. So yeah.